Hey guys, this is galacticmarine501's Jackson Wolfexia again, and today I'm actually going to be finishing off my review of the ADU Jet Defense Helicopter set, which is by far my favorite set from Alien Conquest so far. Then again, I've only gotten the smaller sets, so there's not really a major contest yet. In fact, the only one that I can say will stand a contest may be the truck. I don't know how cool that's going to be, but since I don't have it yet, looks cool. And the pilot is actually the same guy that I got with the jetpack in the other review that I did today. And the rotor blades I find are actually quite loose. Well, no, now they stick on. Of course, I'm doing the review and they stick on. Oh god. But anyway, you can sit this guy in the cockpit, and this is something that LEGO needs to do every time, but they often forget about. They need to make their cockpits flush. Now, I could go through the LEGO Star Wars sets that I still have built. I bet you half of them don't have flush cockpits. This one really does. It's a nice cockpit. You can get them in there relatively easy. You do have to lean them in a little bit, but the cockpit is totally flush up at the front. There may be some gaps there, but you can't see them. It's totally flush at the sides. There are no gaps that you can see here. I mean, if you don't press it down hard enough, there may be a little gap, but who's gonna be that particular about, like, considering that a major gap? Now you also get this feature on the back, this play feature here, which I'd rather do without, which is the alien capture pod. And let's take an alien from my private collection, which is the way I think that would be said if it were actually a thing that normal people said. Oh god, I just realized how stupid that sounded. And how do you put this guy in? Was this only designed for the brain? Okay, nope. You can put him in. Here we go. And you can either have this be a capture pod for aliens, or I like to think of it, since I did have LEGO Star Wars sets before these, I like to think of it maybe as you could, I guess if you're a kid and trying to get play value out of this series, you may use it as a healing pod for your ADU guys. Or maybe a healing pod for the people who have been affected by the facehuggers. Or, not facehuggers. They're not called facehuggers, because that name was already used. The mind control head creature aliens. So basically, just take the head creature off, I guess. And then you just put the survivor in here. And he can be healed and restored to his normal, eventually his normal businessman state. There. But they do show it as a capture weapon, and it would be capturing probably one of the two pilots from the speeders, which I'm actually going to re-review this. There are two speeders that combine by flipping these two things up. If you saw my previous part, you saw this, but just quickly I wanted to show that. Now, it does have two of the new gun elements here. It's got quite a few new elements. The three, actually, I can't show you the other one because it's on the inner frame parts. Three of these little ridged cylinders. Sorry it was so hard for my finger to find it. Everything's backwards on the screen, so when I try to locate it, I messed up. Two of these new wing parts. I've never seen these before. Maybe they were in a set I didn't have, but I've never seen them. 4 of these nice long rotor blades, which I've never seen before. The only ones I've seen were white, and they came with the Frost Dragon. Of course, now we have red ones and soon to have blue ones in the Lightning and Fire Dragons. I don't know if the Earth Dragon has wings. I mean, they could be folded up. I remember it having wings in the show, because it obviously flew. They were all flying on the dragons. But at least we're getting an Earth Dragon. Oh yeah, and something I didn't show in this guy's respective review, he could stand on his tentacles. He does have the tentacle power to stand. Here we go. Yeah, but as the guy at our Lego store said, and it would be really ironic if he was watching this, this is sort of a good counter to this set, because it has the capture pod back here. So basically, like, this guy could end up capturing a human, these guys could end up capturing an alien, then there would be hostage negotiations, then somebody would probably end up shooting at that point, and those hostage negotiations would probably go down the drain when one of the hostages was either brain-jacked or shot. Yeah, that would be funny. I love how there is never peace in my mind. Like, nothing ever goes easily in my mind. Like, my friend was talking about, I forget what it was. It was like him going to see some movie, and I came up with this, like, 4-minute circumstance on how him going to see this movie would be messed up, and he's like, dang, now I don't want to leave my house for a week. Because I basically said a bunch of crap about, like, his car could explode, and then there were like zombies, all this crap involved, and it was hilarious at the time. But I think I scarred his little sister for life because she was sitting right there. Probably should have thought of that one a little better. But it was funny. You had to be there. I don't remember exactly how I did it, but I went through like 4 minutes of this circumstance and scared the living fudge out of his little sister, and scared him pretty good too. Now, the other thing is, you think this pod in the back here is going to be on too tight, but just lower it down a little bit and it'll pop right off. And it does stay in there pretty securely. But I for one, like the helicopter better like this. I think it loses some bulk in the back here. It gains a little. These things make it look like the Hornet from Halo. And the fact that it is a helicopter. It's not the same kind of helicopter. The Hornet had the 2 blades. The 2 housed blades. Like, this would be, I guess, more dangerous. As that one dude from Indiana Jones learned. And you do get 4 firing missiles, which you have to fire at the same time. These 2 fire out with the push of a peg, and you can see there are pegs back there. Those will fire the missiles. And you also have, I suppose if he got out, he could take one of these guns with him. I don't know, though. These are also guns, apparently, or beams. I don't know what they do, exactly. I'm not very creative. I just review this stuff. No, I would say that they'd be some type of beam weapon. Whether he could use them or in melee combat would be awesome. Like a dogfight and then just like spin the thing. He also has 2 machine gun type items on each wing, which is pretty cool. And if you're a fan of Gundam, which I really am, this will look sort of familiar to you. And mostly Gundam Seed Destiny. If you're thinking Akatsuki, you're right. If you have the Shiranui Akatsuki, there's the main... wait, what am I talking about? It's not the Akatsuki. I'm thinking about it more. I can't remember what it is. I know I have a model that has like two big thrusters, then then a central thing, like a central spike that comes down. And I believe the spike like flipped up and turned into a railgun or something. I don't know. I remember that from some model. No, actually, it was a not Gundam. It was a either Mars, which are just basically robots, or something. It was I had something like that, and I remember that was one of my favorites for a while. That's why I thought of Akatsuki, because Akatsuki is my favorite model that I've built so far. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go to my other channel, Jackson Wolfexia, and yeah. Oh, and I uploaded a new vlog, or 2 new vlogs, possibly half an hour about me gabbing about cosplay and crap that's been going on in my life, and tea. I gabbed about tea for quite a while. And why I drink tea, and why tea is good. I said tea is good probably about 30 times. Subliminal messaging right there. Nikolai Petrovsky. That's a Red vs. Blue reference. The one where they think about what Red vs. Blue would be like in different countries. They talked about the European country that changes government every 5 days, which there are quite a few of those, actually. And I love how I'm entranced by this rotor blade. And, I mean, depending on how old you are, if you are older, this is a good set. This is still a great set. I mean, just the look of it. You could take these pieces out, the gimmick pieces for the flick-fire missiles, and you've got a pretty nice helicopter for display. And the front, the cockpit, great for mocks. It's a new cockpit, I believe. Actually, another thing that's sort of great for that I like a lot, and that's just because I like wolves, is apparently this is a wolf. This fighter has something to do with wolves because there's a wolf on there. So I'm actually going to call this the Timberwolf. I'm actually going to say that that's the name of the helicopter in my little world. It's probably got a more... And actually it says Nabii, Nabii. Oh, and apparently, yeah, this would be more German, more England, like English, than more than U.S. English. And the reason I noticed that is because it says petrol injection, where you put the gas, which you put on the, probably like, even if this thing were life size, the wings are probably like an inch thick, max, maybe 2. They're not going to be able to hold a big gas supply. I would much sooner put gas into these. I don't know. Or into something right here for the rotor. But it's a jet helicopter, so it does have jets. I don't know what the rotor does. I mean, if it were up to me, the set would be this. It's a pretty nice jet. Actually, you know, the rotor does, now that I look at it without it, the rotor does add a little bit of bulk and a little bit of sort of coolness to it. Gonna have to take this off to fix it back. But anyway, yeah, I notice I'm almost done with time. This has been galacticmarine501's/Jackson and thanks for watching. Oh wait, I still have 10 more seconds. I thought that was 59. So I do have time to get this back together to show you one last look of it.